Drink. Water.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The darkness parts.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration.
Actually, beer and cider have loads of water in them.
Okay.
But these are not the Franco-Nigerian centuries. We are in the present. It is safe to sometimes drink water here. That's just a drug addict myth. In reality, you're still comprised of dihydrogen oxide, which you must replenish to go on living.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened? You were reading your paperwork.
Won the game.
Then you
Let's
passed out.
go!
I carried you to my kinema to take
Okay.
you to a hospital. Then you came to.
Oh,
10 minutes, maybe.
10 minutes. Yeah.
Azarov got the MVP, got the play of the game.
Let's go, Kazura. Maybe you should add her.
Maybe.
Came in contact with the burnt out. You went to the past lieutenant.
That
Eh,
does
but
sometimes
this one is the one yang. Oh my god! I jumped from gold 4 to gold 2.
But
God, my tank is better
Double
than my
down.
support.
support period is over, guys. We're washed.
No longer a support main. I'm a
For
wash
real.
support main. I can only DPS and tank now.
For real, for real. I got some time.
Oh, but
He
Jade
replies
Shadows
with
kan.
such understanding.
I'm kind of
It's
curious,
as if
like,
the burnt
is
out ruins
kan
of
ada
the
seorang ni
past
kan
were an
Zeto kan that was like,
occupational hazard.
we must capture
As a
her for the
foot-
sisters.
The
And
woman?
then bila dia dengar, yeah.
Yeah.
And then dia dengar ada baby. Is there any lore reason why she suddenly heard the baby? She's like, stop.
No, I am pretty sure it's just she doesn't want to kill the baby. That's it. I was thinking about it too. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure they're just good people because we have seen time and time again there are good people in these factions. Viso, and Carl, etc. So I think it's just one of those again where it's like, oh yeah, they're still good people,
True.
guys. Don't worry about it. Also,
Technically,
you should
Carl-
read the transcript because there was cut dialogue. Because I was curious about it too, and there was cut dialogue from her where she tells them to hold fire, and then the people were like, "Are you sure we wanna?" I don't remember, and she insists to. I don't remember, but I think it added to some of the context a little. Like, it sounds like okay, she really doesn't wanna harm. Like, this is just
A
like
child.
I think something like that. But it's yeah, I think it's just as simple as that. Also, it really seems like the writer watched Children of Men. I forgot the name of that movie. And just wanted a scene where you can part through people with a child because that's literally what happened in that movie. So it's like, okay, yeah, they did it. They did a good job. Good little boys. Well, he replies with such standing. It's as if the burnt. Nanti tak amal to play. She gets to play New War soon. Tapi I think after Raya, I guess.
Yeah, it's too long.
Yeah, I think especially for her, I'm a bit worried for her for the Jackal fight again. Especially with SB.
Alright, that Jackal fight is going to be horrific.
What? It's interesting to watch for sure. Or maybe even the what's the name? The Teshin part, because I really did not like Teshin's section, not gonna lie. So if I didn't like it, I don't know if Amma would.
Yeah, I think she would definitely have trouble with the Corpus and the Teshin combined.
Yeah, but that should be it. I think after that it's quite easy if I remember correctly.
Right, after that it's just the Railjack one is easy because they super buff your Railjack.
Yes. And also, Amma, what was it? What was the fight that we played that surprised me? Oh, the War Within. I watched her play. She had no trouble fight with the worm. Like I left for a bit and I came back and she's finished with the worm part where you cannot step on the skull area though. But she struggled with the boss fight with the queen a lot, and so I was like, okay.
Okay,
So
okay,
it's
okay.
quite interesting when it's like, oh, I don't know where.
To be
the-
fair though, with the queen one, I guess like I struggled in the beginning too because I didn't know what I was supposed to do
No,
in the
that's the
beginning.
thing. I told her what to do. It's more like she struggled at that part where you have to
Change and then jatuhkan dia punya staff and then kill them.
yeah,
Apa?
the specifically to grab the stuff too, cause you need the timing, right, to get to her.
Uh-huh.
Specifically when she stopped shooting at you, she struggled. Like I think that took up majority of the gameplay. She struggled so hard to get the timing, which is so surprising because I thought she was a game like a what's it called, a rhythm gamer or something. It's like, oh, interesting. But I hope New War will be fine for her then.
I guess that kind of thing rhythm gaming I guess is just like you focus on one thing and then you just focus on the rhythm. My guess is that she can't keep up because this is that kind of like
Oh.
needing timing is more of an MMORPG thing.
Okay, like parrying and stuff like that.
Kinda like you knowing when to time your windows, etc.
Yeah, pairing. Okay, I gotta go get food and stuff, and you should go sleep. And to finish.
Right.
Well, not finish, but yeah, I need to continue. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Get a snack. Okay. He applies with such as if
You dropped this. Are you okay to proceed? Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonuses. Find it under the Tools tab in your inventory.
okay. I've been able to read.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Which one do you want? This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne. Cause of failure, rent too high. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class." People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the Next World mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown. The case files do not show you finding the author of the design. The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options.
The mural sale.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority. And that love truly is possible in the next world for new people. And it is too late for us.
Of two minds, I guess. Not really to blame.
Did anyone ask you what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger? What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done? AKA Leslie and Burke, AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk, is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable. Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man, and you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration. The only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear-view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which, in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability on par with you ceasing to produce the expression. You would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home? No, Leslie and Burke are on the corner of Main Street and Perdition, because that's where the action is. Can you keep yourself off the streets?
True.
Threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years. It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing? Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger. He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. The officer is also drunk. Way more drunk than Burke there. And let's be fair, you also have party eyes. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face, then proceed to beat him unconscious with it.
Oh God.
In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke. He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore.
Oh god.
Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke, who knows, but both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved. Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one?
Oh god.
It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape. That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead. Who knows? Those pages are missing. What next? Don't worry. One day you may still catch the man with the square gun. Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it. Insufferable dicks. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa, or couch, or whatever it is. They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it, and smoked cigarettes, and drank coffee because they felt it's intellectual. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved. No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. You have a real job to do. What next? Murder. Tum tum tum. At the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead, of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the hookah parlor. Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get to the murder at the hookah parlor. Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve. Was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister. Was on it for, like, a month. The captain got impatient. Shit or get off the pot, Mills. Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlor. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had. No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it was uncrackable. That murderer vanished into thin air. That goddamn hookah parlor was all he talked about. Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day. No, it's soot and water vapor. It doesn't do anything. Yeah, so anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there, only client that day. In perfect health too. Some kind of movie producer. No one enters, no one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened? How can it be? Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin. Movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Tables low, heavy, really sharp edge. See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom. Yeah, he liked his hookah. Stephen was his name. Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed piecing it together. Next. Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard. Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on dozens of investigations date back to January 51. Stamped case files, commit to paper. These are your you don't exactly thin, see-through copier paper. Mostly, the rest of the stinking celluloid, it's made of dark blue plastic. With your hands, you fought without resistance or sound. The two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open. It's slightly, ever so slightly, the acidic stench, you know, like the bits they put into public. Your nose does not understand what it. Advanced race theory. Everything is calm in the eye of the race storm. Your mind is lucid and bright. The mind-bending phylogenetics appear more distant and, to be fair, a little ridiculous. The great race mystery has cleared up. All that's left to do is verbalize your thoughts. Go and talk to Measurehead about your newly found insights.
Okay.
promising race pupil returns. And
It's whatever you want it to be. Definitely not that one. Not that one out. I don't think that one either. I kind of agree.
look, babe. The rich man has humiliated and emasculated this couple. He can only think in base materialist categories and feminine abstractions like money.
Rich man really fucked him over, Jean.
His rage is already played out on the stage of history as the grotesque tragedy of revolution. All it can accomplish now is impotent academic text and neurosyphilitic rock and roll melancholia. You could have used this opportunity to overcome your narrow, Al-Ghul ravaged identity. Instead of unlocking the race enigma, you attempted to add to it unsuccessfully. Take solace from the fact that these thoughts will never entirely leave your brain. They will be with you on the day you die. The only germ of heroism in your body. Now go.
Damn, Jean. How are you so romantic?
Was there an out of this for you with success? Or was the rhetoric game rigged? I can't tell.
Well, I made my decision. Forget.
Yes? What about me? No.
The lieutenant nods.
Hmm.
Good.
There's no way to live, but even just holding a pawn shop, a police badge on which the library card. Billy is a unisex. An intricate web, it still kind of looks like a map of the stars in the night sky. But something's not right. Gone. For you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will without assistance. Someone close to the victim might know. Someone who knows about history could tell you.
History. Oh, he's dead. Is that my only chance? Okay, let's see. Oh, maybe him.
Oh, sorry. Host almighty. He's a total bummer now.
Officer, I just can't do this right now. The Union, it just doesn't matter anymore. Yes? What about René?
Yes.
It is what it is. I just don't know anymore.
We get it.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf. Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring crime fiction. These books, furthermore, what's more, they completely ignore not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon shelves filled to the brim with
Oh, crime, robberies, murders. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these.
shelves full of biographies of
I would say The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power. A very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things. Perhaps for a layman, deep analysis is necessary to peel back the multi-layered meanings.
Do her words seem vague and abstract to you?
Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
You feel like you should get this one? Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
A true cultural touchstone. Enjoy the read.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime.
Come, sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Several maps the maps look old and faded. Your eye...
I'm sorry, officer. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. Yes, yes. Are you interested or not?
The Greatest Innocence by João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego. The book is large and heavy. Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, events historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain. You can do it. It'll be worth it. There's something here. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes. You ready? That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first innocence? Oh
Dolores?
yeah, this is what I was made for. A pop quiz is a short examination designed to test your knowledge without any prior warning or announcement. Such exams allow the teacher to assess how thoroughly the students have retained the material at hand. Voila! Now blast that first innocence. Thanks for nothing. Dolores Day. Dolores.
Yeah.
Incorrect. Dolores Day was the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. She codified parliamentary democracy and created modern institutions. Among these, the moral intern, she was powerful and beautiful on all her icons. Her colors are silver, white, and apricot. And when you think her name, Dolores, stomach acid rises to the back of your throat, and it hurts. You see a flash silver, a wreath, an airport bag, and blonde hair. You don't know why. Another choice, perhaps? Steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one. A strange sensation of loss. When she left the earth, the dust, and the ice, and the humans. That is unimportant to the quiz. Stop thinking about this. Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to rouse sensations in yourself at the mention of Dolores Day. Who was the first innocence? It wasn't Dolores Day.
Was it the reconnaissance?
Correct.
I was
Nothing much
thinking
is
about
known
that.
about him. It's not even clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him Pius. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God and equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring people's love for Aurum. As the first innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party, the founding party. Question 2. Who was the strongest innocence?
Is it Dolores Day now?
Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody. An innocence is the highest category of historical personage in the world, a literal personification of history. Traditionally, an innocence, when anointed, assumes supreme rule over the Occident or the known world in general, at least the parts that matter. I can do better. Okay, so commonly an innocence does not enforce his or her power through military power. This is seen as unnecessary. The innocence wins because an innocence can't help but win, for their deeds are inevitabilities. Did this help? Damn. Dolores.
Right, I think it's Dolores this time, right?
Incorrect again.
Oh God.
While she originated many modern institutions, launched several successful expeditions, and was even critical of the innocentic system itself, and somehow keeps popping up in your mind, she is not often considered the strongest, even though the words most associated with her rule are l'amour, la compassion, l'autodiscipline, love, compassion, self-control, which could be seen as facets of strength. Would you like to try again?
Vesper Messina. Hyper Negro, maybe. But that just sounds like. What's the question? Like the strongest? Maybe Vesper Messina. I've never. I don't think I barely hear about that though.
Correct.
Okay,
Named the innocence of militarism, he codified hereditary rule, but at the same time ended serfdom and established the inter-isolari real as the global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation. Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and bourgeoisie by building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue. Question 3. Who was the false innocence? Got it under control. No problem. Solid on this one. It's widespread historical information. Yes, there exists a group called the Founding Party, known as the Holy Party, during the time of the Pericarnacian. This, the world's oldest international organization, spends its time in search of either the re-emergence of the innocents or new members. There seems to be a mix-up with the sources. It's not my fault. At least it clearly wasn't Dolores Day. She wouldn't be false. She's beautiful.
What if I say Dolores again? Is she false? She cannot be false in this sense, right?
No, stop thinking it. I said it wasn't her. She was true.
Okay. I don't know any of these people. I've never heard of them, so let's go Stepan the Despicable.
Incorrect. Stepan the Despicable, regent of Kedra, was a ruler who conquered the known world during the Kedriatic conquest, instead of the despotic Erno Pasternak. Would you try again?
Is it Erno Pasternak?
Correct. There have been a number of counter or false innocences, some assumed to have innocentic qualities, some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally, they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen. The most famous and important of these was Erno Pasternak. He was into torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra. Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one. Question 4. Who was the greatest innocence? The most important of them all. The most precious
Okay,
to
this is
humankind.
Dolores, right?
I've got it, honest. Of course, this is my thing, the reason I exist in this world. The correct answer is Franco Negro. 0 doubts.
I don't think he's correct. I think it's Dolores Day. But let's humor him.
Incorrect. While Franco Negro built concrete churches and cathedrals, and while many people, especially the Mesk, consider him a father figure, due to his militarism and nationalism, João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego argues differently. Another choice, perhaps? Oh yes, militarism and nationalism. My bad. Yes, obviously. Correct. The Mesk might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Day has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence. A most radical change to the whole fabric of the world. Everything from inter-esolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow and more beautiful. Congratulations on finishing the test. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get a D. Not particularly remarkable, but technically a passing grade. Not that anyone really expected better. You would have done better if you just left Dolores Day for the end. Dial the Dolores Day down a bit.
What's going on with you? Okay.
You are shouting at an inanimate object, like a real weirdo. No wonder you seem to have trouble with the right answers.
Very interesting. I like that. Well, it's past 13, so I think I should go check on the dispatch.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? 57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a
Huh. I was so sure it's gonna be exactly it. You know what? I'm not quite sure what to do now.
Behind the dockworkers, you see 2, maybe 3 bushes grown into a single thicket over a period of circa 50.
semester? Yes, I am. Little, that's nice. Bye.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you. Oh, yeah. That's a...
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
You know, of Meteo. Concerning Meteo. Meteo, a country on Muindi. On the Muindi Isla.
One of the poorest of the first world nations today, but once a great ancient civilization. Capital, Tilakos by Percentic.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian Church. Totally.
The Pericarnassian love is hot.
Unity. Unit.
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse. Your posse's like your people, man. Like you got your cup posse.
And where is your posse, detective? Nothing comes to you. The world is silent.
Are we?
Yeah! Oh yeah!
He's coming around. You're getting it.
Yeah!
Do it for the masses. I didn't want to say it.
The one. You feel like you could go for a little disco when, or if, they get this club going.
Goodbye, officer.
Good morning! Yeah! Harder car!
Yes, what is it?
The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex. Why? That does seem to be a problem. I don't know. The mother of human.
Yo, man. What's on your mind?
Welcome back.
Hello again. Sure, what's on your mind? But of course, what else?
Tequila sunset. Of course. Drink first, story later. Not much, but it will do. The tale I'm about to tell you is an urban legend particular to Martinaise. That said, I first heard it from a former bicycle courier in Coran. There are many variations on the basic story, and the details often conflict. What everyone agrees on is that nobody knows the exact nature or identity of the phenomenon.
Are you telling the story of the headless...
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. Summer of 44. 17-year-old Gertrude Het is walking home from a late shift at the harbor. It's almost midnight. She stops for a cigarette near the canal. Our heroine finds herself enjoying the peace and quiet the canal provides. What she doesn't know is that her peace is about to be shattered. From behind her comes the clattering of hooves. Startled, she turns around, and what does she see? Well, yes, but it's the man on the horse that's of interest here. A man...
The pause is long and dramatic.
with no head on his shoulders, wearing a fawn tracksuit, searching for the legendary fawn cap that went missing when he lost his head.
I thought that he rode a headless pig.
Well, there are many versions of this story, the most peculiar of which has the headless fawn rider riding on the back of another headless man. If I hadn't lost my keys that one time, I'd agree with you. But life is a cruel mistress. Gertrude Het may have been the first to witness the headless fawn rider, but she wasn't the last. Oh no.
Tell him about the two feminists by the locks.
Fuck, Rosemary, they were dating. No one said they were feminists. Everyone always misremembering this stuff.
This wouldn't be the De Ponte Delgado case, would it?
What? You know it?
I've read the case file. But please, go on.
Right. Early autumn of 46. Ula de Ponte and Eva Delgado are fishing near the waterlock long after the sun has set. The wind picks up. A sky already dark now blackens. Water starts falling from above. The first cold rain of the season. The women are caught in the downpour. They act quickly. Eva gathers the rods whilst Ula turns around to reach for the tackle box. When she sees something, her shriek is so violent that the residents of the nearby apartment building believe lightning has struck. But there is no lightning. Only a heavy downpour and the silhouette of the headless fawn rider looming on the horizon. Ula makes a run for the shore, but Eva slips on a wet rock and disappears into the cold, cold canal with nary a sound. Her body is never recovered.
Naturally, Ula de Ponte became the prime suspect in the disappearance of Eva Delgado. De Ponte maintained that it was the so-called headless fawn rider and that she ran, fearing for her life. During the investigation, it became apparent that there was a love triangle, the third party being some small-time businessman. I don't remember the exact details. The leading theory was that an argument broke out on the jetty and De Ponte pushed Delgado into the canal, then cooked up this stupid cover story. No, she committed suicide before she could be taken into custody. They found her in the bathroom with a rifle, her face slowly peeling off the ceiling. Not a pretty scene.
Man, that's some grisly detail. Oh well, here's to another case closed. Anyway, that's the story of the headless fawn rider. Pretty crazy, huh? Well, Tequila, that's part of the legend. No one knows for sure. There are a couple of possibilities, though. Some say he was an undercover cop who blew his cover and got beheaded by the vicious gang he had infiltrated. Now he rides, searching for his lost-found cap, plotting revenge. Others claim he was a professional jockey who veered off course during a steeplechase, ended up in somebody's backyard, and got decapitated by an exceptionally taut clothesline. Personally, I think he was just some guy who hanged himself from a really tall tree, and the fall was so violent that his head came clean off. Coincidentally, at that exact moment, a horse happened to pass under him, and his beheaded corpse mounted it, where it remains to this day. But then, no one really knows.
For some reason, this does strike you as the most plausible theory of them all.
Isn't it? All the pieces fit together perfectly. That's how I know it's right. Anyway, to each his own. You want to hear any other stories?
Hard to argue with that, I suppose.
That's the reality situation for you. You think you got a handle on it, then blam! It throws some wild shit at you. That's why it's critical to stay well hydrated. Yeah? Why don't you go eat shit, Tequila? There's no way you know a better one than that. Damn right it doesn't. So why don't you just shut up and leave it to the master? No one knows. Some say he stalks Martinez to this day, and can be seen near the canal when the clock strikes midnight.
He won't, though, because it's just a stupid legend.
Aye. I saw him one night when I was right shit-faced.
I actually do have one. The strangest of them all. But I'll need to fortify myself before I can tell that one. Do you have anything to fortify old Doom Spiral? Tell me you got some story juice. If you find any, I'd be extremely grateful.